Like I was teaching during our last singles and married platform, I was addressing the young men. Every woman has something within that they want to unlock when they get married. She was not like this when I married her. But I realized she has something to offer her generation. Can I shock you? Even this stand, she came to stand before you now. She didn't want to come. But it is part of my responsibility as a responsible husband to unlock the potential. And for every time she handles the mic and stands before people like this, she will get better on it. I am not intimidated by her rising. Her rising is my glory. Any man that will be intimidated by his wife's rising needs to go back to the kindergarten of the marriage institution and learn the basics of how to prosecute marriage the kingdom way. We're not in competition with our wives. We are in complementation. We complement each other. Let me take it again. Marriage is not for competition. It is for complementation. That is why as singles, you should know what you carry, first of all. Locate yourself in the will of God. And get busy on your assignment. So that when your expected partner arrives the scene, they will be coming to complement what you have already known as your purpose. From both sides. She talked about service. Let your life partner meet you in active service of the kingdom. Whatever God called you to do in this generation, be doing it actively while you're waiting for Mr. Right or Miss Right. We were doing campus ministry, and my wife came to Benedict University and joined the ministry. And she met me laboring on campus among the students. And so in the course of laboring on the vineyard together, she got familiar with my schedules. She saw how, even though I was no more a student, I could pass nights on campus, a night or two every week, just to sleep in my office and reach out in the early hours of the mornings to the hostels and preach the gospel. She knew this is the schedule of the man she's going to settle with. So she prepared herself. So from the moment I proposed to my wife, among the many sisters that were in the ministry, and she accepted, she was not intimidated. So when we finished our meeting those days in school, she would carry her things and start going home. There are some sisters in some churches where the pastor is still single. The day the pastor opens his mouth and says, "Can you marry me?" and they accept. After every service, they'll go and sit on the pastor's seat and cross their leg and be watching him. Or be tapping their legs and giving every sister who comes around for counseling signals. Be fast and leave this place. The man belongs to me. At the end of service, she will pack her things and leave the vicinity. She was not intimidated by other sisters who were in the ministry. Because she knew what God has given you is your own. You don't need to fight to keep it. Sisters, if you need to fight unnecessarily to keep any man, so you have so much strength to spare. It is supposed to be the man who should be chasing after you passionately. Factors of early marriage, part 2. Number 1, value the marriage institution. What you value, you attract. What you value, you attract. I've seen a lot of young people who talk down the marriage institution because marriage is not working in their families. How can you talk down the marriage institution and expect that marriage will work for you out of the blues? It doesn't work like that. You heard her story. She came from a home that marriage wasn't so sweet. But she valued the marriage institution enough to be drawn to those whose marriages were working. One of the mistakes a lot of you young people are making, if marriage is not working in your home, you form a shell and start talking bad, talking down on marriage. You are already sentencing yourself to a wrong marriage. Because what you say, you attract. So like she said, if you are still going about spreading the news, there are no good men again. All men are the same. All men are wicked. So shall it be unto you. You will marry a wicked man. You will marry a cheat. You will marry a man you will be struggling to keep. You will marry a man that you will consistently be competing with other ladies to win his love and attraction. Even if you're from a home where your parents' marriage is not working, confess the right things. God said to the church in the wilderness, as they have said in my ears, so shall it be. Keep talking good. I shall marry rightly. My husband shall be honored among his colleagues. My children shall be called blessed in this generation. I shall not delay before I get married. My marriage shall be an envy to my generation. That's the kind of prayers you be praying every day. Value the marriage institution and talk well about the marriage institution. I see a lot of young people today who do not value the marriage institution simply because marriage has not yet happened to them. And this is very common with a lot of ladies who are becoming elderly and still single. They start talking. When they hear wedding bells are ringing, people are celebrating and rejoicing. They say, it's not about me. It's not just to marry you. It's not to marry you. It's not about marriage. It's not to enter. Many entered and ran out. There are many who entered and they stayed and they are wishing they never go out. They are wishing that God will permit them to remarry their spouse in heaven. Why are you not seeing those ones? There are some of us who are praying that if God changes his mind and allows marriage in heaven, we don't have a second option. We are remarrying the person we marry here on earth. Because we're already enjoying a heaven on earth marriage. So we're not faking it. Why are you not seeing those ones? It's those celebrities on social media who marry like every 3 years. One of them, I saw a video, even though it was on a humorous side anyway. She said she's a marriage counselor. She has experience because she has been married 7 times. So she has experience because she has been married 7 times. That's the experience. It's not that she has stayed in marriage 10 years, but she has been married 7 times. May social media not give you the definition of marriage in this generation. I said, may social media not give you the definition of marriage in this generation. A lot of you, your minds are warped with wrong ideologies about marriage. Value the marriage institution. When you hear somebody's getting married, celebrate, draw close, and see what you can do. Sow seeds. Talk well about marriage. And you attract a good marriage. Number 2 is linked to the first. Romans 12 verse 15. Rejoice with those that rejoice and mourn with them that mourn. Celebrate and rejoice with those who are going ahead of you. While I was single, a good number of my friends married before me, but I was never intimidated. I never felt envious. There's this feeling that some of you may start having when you suddenly realize half of your friends are already married and you're still single. After a while, if you don't guard your heart, Satan creeps in with animosity, envy, insecurity, and then suddenly you cut off. All my friends have married now. Let me cut off. And then when you now hear about marriage, you lock your heart. They just announced the wedding of one of our sisters now. And they say you should rejoice with her and support her. One of the ways to celebrate with those who are celebrating and rejoice with those who are rejoicing, your money should pick for you. So when wedding bells are ringing, connect, release the seed at your level. Even if they didn't add you to the Ashwebi or flower girls or bridal tree, release a seed as a way of celebrating with those who are celebrating and rejoicing with those who are rejoicing. Attend the wedding. Attend church service before you go for reception. Because now people no longer attend church service. They go and wait for you at reception. I don't know where they got that one from. So when you come to the church service, you may think that this is all about the congregation. Say, oh, people don't attend this wedding. No. By the time you now go for the reception, you now see 3 times the people that were in church. Where did we get all this? Who did this to us? When you are celebrating with those who are celebrating, it begins, if you can even reach them from their hotel room where they are and find out what you can do for them that morning before they start going to church, be everywhere running around. Follow them to church. Dance with them, celebrate with them in church. Follow them for reception. Celebrate with them there. Hi. And when heaven sees how excited you are about those that are going ahead of you, God himself will facilitate your own. Because what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. Number 3. Work on your packaging. Dress well, smell good, and smile lavishly. In this country, Nigeria, once upon a time, according to BBC reports, Nigerians were the happiest people on planet Earth. But the last indices that they released, I think we are now 4th or 5th from behind. Something in that neighborhood. And then the poverty headquarters of the world. Then right now, we just recently, I think last month, we climbed up to become the 2nd most terrorized country in the world. After Afghanistan. We used to be number 3. Syria was 2nd. We have overtaken Syria. We are now the 2nd most terrorized nation in the world, Nigeria. So, when you are moving around, just know that the average person you meet on the street is having problems. They'll be thinking of where to eat the next meal. Don't add to people's problems with your stony face. If you don't have money to give, your smiles can reduce the pressure of the Nigerian economy on people. You can minister to people with your smiles. I'm not saying you should be smiling on the road everywhere like a madwoman or madman. But at least when you approach somebody and you want to greet, release a level of smile. Let your greeting be accompanied with some smile as a confirmation that it is coming out of a good heart with a good will, accompanied with a good intention. Some of you need to actually pray and ask God to help you to smile. There are some sisters, God is already laying a particular sister on a brother's heart. But he's so scared to approach her because every time you see her, prayer mood activated. Those kind of sisters that when they greet them, they reply back with tongues. Let me tell you some sisters. One of the most delicate moments of a man's life is the period between when he starts thinking of how to come and propose. And then after that one, the next most delicate is after he has proposed and is waiting for a reply. Those are the two, that's by my standard though, not confirming, but those are about the 2 most delicate states of a single man. So, make it easy for a brother to approach you when they begin to consider you for a wife. Make it easy. Because they thought of how to compose the words. One young man told me, say, anytime he thinks of how he go and propose to a lady, it's as if he would just faint. And he was an undergraduate in university. He the thought of how to gather himself to go and propose to his sister used to make his heart skip. So then imagine if that sister is the type that doesn't smile and is not approachable. So your smile encourages your future husband to come around. Come around. Your smile. It lightens the atmosphere. It reduces tension and pressure. Smile. Smell good. I'm so amazed at why a lot of young people don't smell good these days. What I mean smell good, graduate from just using armpit deodorants. Why don't you use good perfumes? And if you that you are not even using armpit deodorants yet, your case is even chronic. You see my son? Let my son stand up, let them see him. Where's King David? My son is 9 years old. He's already using armpit deodorants. We introduced him to armpit deodorants from the age of 8. I can't understand how a fully grown-up man, up to 17 years, you will take your bath and wear clothes like that and step out of the house without protecting your armpit. You are inconveniencing your generation. I told you there are enough problems already. Let me tell you something. Oh my God. A brother shared a testimony. He was reading in class. A lady passed by the corridor. Breeze blew her body odor into the class. He said he lost concentration for 5 minutes. Five minutes. Some years ago, there are some ladies I was trusting God to get them close to God. So I would visit them regularly, share the word with them, and leave. So one day, I visited them, I removed my shoe, and I went inside. So after talking with them for a while, one of them now commended and said, "Wow, you are very neat. Your stockings are not smelling. There's one brother that used to come here. Any day he comes here, they say 3 hours after he has left this room, his body odor is choking us in this room. 3 hours. If you know how body odor used to destabilize people's thinking, you will not contribute to the problems of this generation. And let me tell you, if you take your bath and leave your house coming around without protecting your armpits, you are one of those distributing body odor. The fact that nobody has told you does not mean it's not happening. May you not fall in the category of those people that when ushers are coming, when people are coming to church and ushers are taking them to the seat, when they sight you on that road, ushers, please change my seat. I want to enjoy the service. Your body odor can hinder somebody from receiving the word of God amicably. Your body odor can make somebody start praying for the service to end on time. Some of you think perfume is not in the Bible. Let me show you that perfume is in the Bible. Let's start from the book of beginnings. Genesis chapter 27, verse 27. I will show you from the Old Testament and from the New Testament that perfume is in the Bible. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Let your smell carry blessing." Body odor is not a blessing. Proverbs 27, verse 9. Body odor is not a blessing. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. I mean, they gladden the heart. Where's the Amplified version? Maybe we should look at Amplified. People get more light from there. You see some other another dimension. Oil and perfume rejoice the heart. So does the sweetness of a friend's counsel that comes from the heart. Leave it on amplified. I think the next verse I will need to take it from there. That means when you go to a place where there's mourning, there is sorrow. People are not sure what tomorrow holds. You're coming to that place with a good perfume can awaken hope for tomorrow. It brings joy. You can perfume, sisters, good perfumes opens the hearts of brothers towards you. And body odor closes the hearts of brothers towards you. Let me tell you a story to confirm what I'm saying. A friend of mine, I met him some years ago. He was expected to be married by that time when I met him. So why haven't you married? I said, Kai, man of God, I've been struggling. He started telling me a story. He said, the last lady I wanted to marry, I was in love with her. I was ready to take her to the altar. But the problem, sir, is that she smells. He said, see, man of God, my mother is a nurse. I grew up in a home where we're taught cleanliness. My mother is in her 50s now. I still see my mother every day before she goes to work. Wear armpit deodorant and wear good perfumes when she wears her nursing clothes. And I want to get married, and the lady that I want to marry is carrying body odor around. I tried to help her. She refused to be helped. So the relationship came to an end. So you can see somebody's relationship ended because of body odor. And you think it's not a matter. So your body odor could be part of the reason why you are still not married. Because every time a brother comes around you, you choke them. And I hope you know the body odor from sisters is more chronic than that of brothers. Because you have more activity around your armpit region than us. Yes? You don't know? Know it today. People have more activity around your armpit region than us. So when the odor decides to come out, it comes out times 2. John chapter 12, verses 3 to 7. I want to show you that even God himself likes good perfume. God, Jesus Christ. John chapter 12, verses 3 to 7. Mary took a pound of ointment of pure liquid. And then in bracket they say a rare perfume. See after me, a rare perfume. When you want to buy perfume, go and look for those rare ones that are very good. She took a rare perfume that was very expensive and she poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped them with her hair. And the whole house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. When was the last time you entered a place and it was your perfume that filled the atmosphere? Some of you are a consistent filler of a new environment with body odor. There's never a day in your life when you enter the place and neutralize smell because you're wearing a good perfume. The whole house was filled. Move to the next verse. The whole house was filled. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples who was about to betray him, said, this should have been sold for an amount and the money given to the poor. Let me read from here. I'm not understanding my media people today. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, who was about to betray him, objected. Why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor? Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? That's NIV. It was worth a year's wages. Amplified. Why was this perfume not sold? So you see how emphasis on perfume. This he said. He did not say this because he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief. And having the bag, he took for himself what was put inside. He used to help himself from time to time. Now, look at the response of Jesus Christ. That's the one that I want you to see. Verse 7. But Jesus said, let her alone. She came to minister to me with perfume, and you want to drive her away? Allow her. That means God enjoys it when people come into his presence with good perfume. Say, allow her. I'm enjoying the perfume. So can I submit to you today? God enjoys it when you come into his presence with good perfume. So if God can enjoy good perfume, how much more a man? Friends, go and invest in good perfumes. I'm really amazed. This generation, we don't value smelling good anymore. Dress well. Let me start with the sisters. I personally do not encourage sisters to wear any skirt or gown that you have to complete with handkerchief or a gown, or a cloth material. What's the message you're sending? So you know that gown is not long enough, and you wore it. Now, when you sat down, you are adding an attachment to it. Now, that tells you where that handkerchief stopped was where the gown was supposed to reach. Why did you put on that short garment? So, when I see ladies seated and using handkerchief to cover their legs, you are sending the wrong signal. Why did you wear it in the first place? And if you say, okay, want to be smart, want to look smart, short skirts make us look smart, what's the remedy? Wear skin tights under your skirts. Skin tights. Skin tights. This generation, we don't like wearing skin tights again. Ladies, see, it's inconveniencing. Me, I grew up, our mothers, they will wear underskirts and then still tie 2 wrappers when they're going out. Underskirt and still tie 2 wrappers. They say, wear just skin tight. Wear skin tight. He said, no, it's inconveniencing. It's inconveniencing. You sit on bike, your skirt pulls up to half of your thighs, and you're comfortable with that. Wear skin tight, you will not wear. It's a convenience-seeking generation. This is part of the ministry God gave me. God has asked me to start teaching these things on the pulpit now. Teach young people how to dress. Teach young people to dress, to smell good. Teach them courtesy and integrity. Your pant lining should not show when you wear your skirts, your blouses. Pant lining should not show. Your breast should not be exposed. If your brassiere is not doing a good job with covering your breast, you supplement it with camisole. The day I saw how serious this matter is, even our mothers who sell in Uruku market here, they used to wear short knickers under their wrappers. Those women in Uruku market there, that's where they used to hide their money and change. They wear short knicker because they don't feel so protected just wearing only wrapper on pant. Some of you just wear pant and wear only blouse on it. And some of these blouses are transparent. If you stand by the door there and somebody can see through your legs, young lady, that dress is not worth wearing. Wear an underskirt. Wear an underskirt. You send the wrong signal. Apart from purposes of having to go to the hospital for one reason or the other where you have to be exposed, your breasts are supposed to be meant for only your husband. Let no man see your breasts. In Proverbs chapter 5, the writer of Proverbs was talking to a young man. Enjoy the wife of your youth. Let her breasts satisfy you always. So breasts are meant for one man only, your husband. It should be no one who should see your breasts. Ladies, guard your breast jealously. They're meant for only one man. Forget about what the celebrities are doing. Nobody should make it look like laps and breasts have become public parts. No, they remain private. Then young men, your boxer should never be seen outside. Your boxer should never be seen outside. Don't expose the hair on your chest. Don't wear short knicker to responsible places. Unless you are going for sports, there are specific purposes for those things. Or it's a full-blown outfit, maybe like kind of full-blown traditional attires like short knicker. Those kind of exceptions. Be serious. A lot of us today, our lives are so casual. we come into God's presence services, just walk casual, easy wear, on trouser plus t-shirt. He says it's midweek service, so that's why you came on easy wear. If you are going for an interview, will you appear like that? Whatever you cannot wear for a job interview, don't wear into God's presence. Can't you honor God? Respect God. Just walk into evening service. Just. The hair is not combed. Represent God with your dressing. And let me tell you, good dressing is not complete until you smell good. And even if you don't wear good perfume, make sure you are not spreading body odor. Number 4. Prepare by studying marriage. Prepare by studying marriage. Now, I don't know about my fellow ministers who are in here today or who are watching online, but a good number of us, before we got into active ministry, we prepared. I attended Bible school, September 1998. After my secondary school, before I got admission into the university, September 1998, I attended Bible school, a 1-month Bible school in Kaduna where we're living. And from that 1998 till 2000, early 2000, when I eventually got on campus, it was a preparation period. Such that by the time I landed on campus, it was time for action and manifestation. When you want to go far in any venture, you prepare for it. If you don't prepare for marriage, marriage will happen to you accidentally and it will overwhelm you. I take that again. If you don't prepare for marriage, marriage will happen to you accidentally and overwhelm you. Have you not seen situations where a baby will be crying and then the lady will just be dialing everybody's number on her phone? Please, how do I handle this situation? She has been crying since 7 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. I don't know how to handle this situation. Do you know, young ladies, one of the ways you prepare for marriage, how many persons have you done babysitting for as a single lady? Do you know how to change diapers? One of our friends got married here in Benue State. She found herself giving birth to her first child in the UK, where her husband went for study leave. Her mother couldn't come. Nobody could come. And that place is not like here where there's a community life. Nobody mind you, nobody send you. So she had to do omugo for herself. Nobody came to help her. She had to babysit her first child all through. Imagine if she didn't have any experience while she was single. Sisters, how many persons have you done babysitting for? Are you preparing yourself for marriage? Some of you, the cry of a baby sets you on the edge. Baby is crying. You say, because of that, your hands are not appealing to small children anymore. When you carry a small child that was calm before, they start crying and shouting. And you want to marry and have your own children someday. You see a lady, you are in a church, like my wife was talking about, you draw close to people whose marriages are working. In addition to that, sow seeds of service in the lives of young couples. I need to add this very emphatically. You come to church, you see that a young girl that just came into church, she has 3 children. She's trying to control 2, and then she's holding only 1. Why not just walk up to her and say, please, let me help you carry this your child, and then you can control this. This is how you sow seeds of service. You implicate yourself to have your own children early when you marry. I notice that most of you young people, you don't know how to take advantage of openings to connect. No, this generation. See, oh my God. This is a generation where a single lady will visit a young couple, maybe just 3 years in marriage. They have a child. You can obviously see that they don't have a house help. And then you visited for whatever reason I brought you. And then you carry yourself and left the house without asking the woman of the house, is there anything I can help you do? A major opening like that, you lost it. You think it's the only man of God who should be sowing seeds too? Time will fail me to tell you how such little sensitivity has given me major breakthroughs. In 2006 to 7, when Apostle Aaron Osai was transferred from Abuja to come and start up the Office of Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency here in the Makurdi Depot, we were living with him, myself and a few other people. And after a while, he requested that they should send to him Reverend Mrs. Esti Uka. By then she was Tonye Saro. And then she came and stayed with us, and we were living together. One day, so, I would wake up, do some chores and all that. Then they would go to work. One day, I now requested, can I follow you to work today? Can I follow you to work? I told Reverend Mrs. Uka. He said, come along. So I followed her to the office. The moment we arrived at the office, as soon as she opened the office, the first thing I noticed was that the office needed to be swept. So quickly I said, ma, can you just stay outside for a while? I rushed, carried broom, swept the office, cleaned everywhere, and then I sat down. I spent some time with them in the office. I don't know that I stayed till the end and we closed together, but eventually that day ended and we came back home. A year later, Apostle told me that they decided that they need to employ an office assistant. And there was no need to look further. She said, get Gabe for this job. That was how I got employed in the oil sector. 2008, without any interview. And I ended up working there for 9 years. See, after me, sensitivity. Most of you think it's only when you see a man of God coming to town, then you carry 1 seed, say, we're going to give prophet offering. That's when you're the one that will connect. No. Every day, opportunities are bypassing you. Open doors. An opening. If you just plant a seed now, bam, it will connect. But you don't take advantage of it. You are walking on the road. You saw a woman standing with 3 children trying to cross the road. You couldn't say, let me help you with this too. Concentrate on this one. Let's cross together. Then you help her cross. This is how to take advantage of openings. A lot of you bypass these openings. That's one of the things my wife had. She was very good with picking opportunities. You know that my wife, even up till now, we're 10 years in marriage. Recently, she visited our mama, Apostle's wife. And then when she had when they finished the session, she was about to leave. Now, those of you who have been to Apostle's house, you know that there are a lot of ladies there. She didn't take it for granted that there are ladies in the house. She said, ma, what can I help you do? I said, oh, okay. She now offered, okay, can I sweep this outdoor? There was a tree where they sat. I said, okay, go ahead. She took her time and swept the whole of that place. Because it's something she has been used to from when she was single. She will not visit a married couple and not ask, what can I do before leaving? You think it's only men of God that can bless you and give you a push in marriage? No. Anybody that is ahead of you that has something you are trusting God to have, you can sow a seed in that person and connect to their level. You are a student. You are not doing well academically. Your roommate is on first class. That person has something. You can sow a seed in that person's life and ask him to pray for you. Don't be proud. We don't know how to take advantage of opportunities. And I mentioned earlier, weddings are coming. Weddings are coming as an opportunity. If you don't have money, go and meet the bride. Is there anything I can do? Is there any aspect of your preparation that I can come in? Those are openings. Opening. Heaven has a way of rewarding these seeds. It's part of how you prepare for marriage. A young couple gives birth in your neighborhood, a neighbor. And you are idle. You have been complaining, ASU strike. You stay at home from morning to evening. Walk up to the woman and say, can I help you with babysitting from the period of maybe 10 a.m. to 2, where I'm free. I can be helping you with the baby, so I can do other things. You people don't know all these things. You don't know, young people, you don't know these things. That's why some of you are still where you are. Opportunities have been bypassing you. No sensitivity to connect. Waiting for one big man to come to town and go and join line that I want to give prophet offering. When the daily opportunities that were before you, your eyes were blinded to them. My younger sister is 12 years in marriage now. And she's almost like us. She literally grew in her marriage these 12 years without a house help. and they have 3 children. You know what helped her? She had to do babysitting for some of our uncles and aunties while she was single. When they give birth, they'll call my father and say, please send your daughter for us. She will go and stay there for months. She will serve. That's why she mastered the art of family life. Today, her husband appreciates her. It's not everything that prayer and fasting will give you. Some things you have to practically walk your way into them. Number 5, prepare. Okay, no. Build a strong spiritual culture. Build a strong spiritual culture. So let me bring the spirit realm into this matter now. Because after all is said and done, there is still a spirit dimension to this thing. There's still a power from the supernatural that can facilitate early marriage. So you must cultivate a spiritual atmosphere, a spiritual culture. The demons you cannot conquer now as a single are likely to double with marriage. Are likely. So, why not invest some time to conquer your own issues first? So that when you get married, the one your partner is bringing, both of you can now join hands together and face them. But some of you have not finished combating your own mountains because of a dry spiritual altar. And then you are rushing into marriage. Let me talk to the brothers. In the scheme of things, it is expected that a man should lead the way in spiritual matters. How can you go and be leading a family when you still struggle to pray up to 30 minutes? A full-grown man like you, struggling to 30 minutes prayer is what you are still struggling with. You don't have a life of devotion. Then you now go and marry a woman and bring her to the house. And then she becomes your spiritual responsibility. Ask my wife, up to today, I'm still discipling her. So she's growing at the level at which I'm growing. If I grow more than this, she will grow faster. So most women are at the level of their husband's spiritual growth. So you must enter marriage with some level of spiritual matter. You must have a spiritual reservoir as a man who is getting married. So that when your own problems when your wife joins you and her own problems wants to overwhelm you, you reach out to your reservoir and you release strength together with her own prayers. Now listen to the following. Build a culture of praying 1 hour in tongues every day. Start from there. Be consistent with it. 2, draw out an outline to read through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation at least once a year. Or the New Testament at least once a year. Every year. Be deliberate about reading at least one Christian literature every month. Develop a lifestyle of witnessing about Jesus and the kingdom at least once in a quarter. Ensure you reach out and share your faith with somebody at least once in a quarter. Four, be deliberate about being under discipleship relationship. Have a discipler over you whom you discuss major matters of your life before executing. And be deliberate about maintaining a good relationship with your discipler. It's not your discipler that should be pursuing you. You pursue the person and build the relationship. If it's possible, if you're in a place where you can reach your discipler, ensure that you see your discipler at least once a year. Physical meeting with your discipler once a year. For prayers and impartation. 5, put yourself under pressure to fast at least once a week. Fasting is not optional for anybody who wants to go far in this life. Matthew 17:21. This kind goeth not out except by prayer and fasting. Put yourself under pressure to fast at least once a week. This is, I'm telling you, are things you should develop before you marry you. This is the spiritual culture I'm talking about. I'm being very practical here. 6, be deliberate about making sacrificial givings from time to time to break strongholds around you and your family. If you notice, there's a culture, there's a limitation, academic limitation. Nobody in your family has gone beyond HND. You want to go for your first degree. Take a seed. Be deliberate. Lord, I tie this seed to this. As I drop this seed, I want to break this limitation. My elder sister got married at 30. The one following her got married at 32. Lord, I want to marry at 25 or at most 27. I take this seed to break this. Be deliberate about sacrificial giving. Beyond your tithes, beyond your offering. It should be a lifestyle to once in a while. Stretch, be above your normal capacity and give seeds and then tie them to some things. It should be Christian practice. David said, I will not give God what does not cost me anything. And finally, develop a morning devotion life. We're in a generation now where people don't see need to have morning devotion again. Somebody gets up and say, anytime the Spirit moves me, I will pray. I can pray 7 hours. But when the Spirit doesn't move me, I just like that. No. You're not helping yourself. If you marry like that, you can't build your children. You can't introduce a life of consistent devotion to your children. Have a devotional that you follow every day. Be consistent with following a devotional. If you master consistency with spiritual things, it becomes easy for you to be consistent in physical. Remove the physical. The reason why a lot of you are so inconsistent physically is because you are inconsistent with spiritual things. There's no devotional that you are following consistently. You have never followed any devotional consistently for up to a year. That's why your life is so inconsistent. No consistent time of prayer. In 2002, I met a man of God. He introduced me to the culture of reading through the book of Proverbs every month. 2002. I have done that since 2002 till today. Today I read Proverbs chapter 16. So I have been reading through the book of Proverbs every month for 20 years now. Find something in the realm of the Spirit that you can be consistent with. When you master consistency in the realm of the Spirit, you become consistent in the physical. Number 6, be domestic. I just showed you how being domestic gave me a job. This one is something all of you need to know. How can you go to stay in somebody's house, young man, young lady? You stay there for 3 days. And you are comfortable. They always come, when they serve you food, they come to carry your plates. Somebody comes to dress your bed every day when you stand up. Somebody comes to sweep your room. You couldn't do anything. You didn't add any value to that home. A young man. No. Me and my wife have brought up our 2 children together for 9 years. The marriage is 10 years because children started arriving from the first year. So for 9 years of bringing up children without a house help. How is that possible? I mastered a domestic lifestyle while I was single. And she also had a domestic lifestyle when she was single. So up to today, as I talk to you now, there are things that I'm the one that handles them in my house. She doesn't have to bother herself with those things. Some heavy-duty jobs, I still do them to today. These were things I mastered while I was still single. Beyond a good prayer life, have a domestic life. It attracts a good husband or a good wife. Many homes today are under the attack of Satan because of strange elements they brought in house helps. Career has made people, they've left their children in the hands of house helps. A lot of house helps abuse their children. Children now being molested. Age 3, age 4. House help now. When I see some of you ladies, I see ladies around. You know, I've been dealing with young people for a long time now. When I was on campus, I'll be in my office. So my workers, my female workers, they will come to the office, they'll see that the office is dirty. They won't see it. Then when they go, I'll say, come. They just see that this office is dirty. I'm stepping out now, sweep the office. It shows that those people they're dirty at home. See, part of why I was able to sense that day when I followed Reverend S.T. Oka to the office, that the office needed to be because my house cannot be like that. One of the things I'm always attacking everywhere I go today, up to now, cobwebs don't stay around me. That's one aspect me I take care of my house. So if I enter a place, I'm looking out for cobwebs. Even yesterday, as we're doing youth clean up, while other people were outside, I focused on the offices. I was demolishing cobwebs. So if I enter a place, I have eyes for cobwebs. What you have not mastered, you can't see. That's the reason why a lady will walk into an office of a boss is dirty. You are waiting for the cleaner. No. You are dirty at home. Dirty at home. Number 7. This time is almost. Live a life of punctuality. Be punctual. Be punctual. Be punctual. The world is programmed to make us latecomers. Take this from me. Hear this again. Hear it 10 times. The world is programmed to make us, all of us, latecomers. You go late for church services. You go late for lectures. You go late to office. You go late for everything, including appointments. Some ladies' problem started the first, when they were invited, somebody wants to marry them, invite you for a date. And the man had to wait for you in the E3 for 1 hour because you were doing makeup at home. You already sent the wrong signal. Much as it is good for a man to go be the first to arrive at a place where he's taking you up, but you, for keeping that man waiting for up to 30 minutes, 1 hour, after the agreed time, is carelessness on your own part. And some of them, when they come, if they must say sorry, they just say this carelessly, so that they will not say she didn't apologize. They didn't see a need to even apologize. They say, if he loves me, he should take it. That's one of the things that I can never take. Because courtship is a time for you to tell the person the truth. I will ask you. Now, so we're going to do the thing. If I marry you. Some of you young men, love will blind your eyes. A lady you want to get married to is misbehaving. You are afraid to talk. You say, if I talk, I will lose her. Marry her and you will suffer. Courtship is called courtship. It's a period of grooming. You see aspects of her you don't like, you bring it to her notice. She sees aspects of you she doesn't like, she brings it to your notice. Punctuality. The way some of you come late to church tells me that punctuality may be an issue for you for a very long time. People have lost jobs because they went late for interview, aptitude test, late. Number 8, second to the last, learn to solve problems. Don't run away from challenges. Let me talk to the ladies here. Men are looking for ladies now who have intelligence, spiritual, emotional, and academic intelligence. Men don't want to marry liabilities again. Men want to marry ladies who are excited about solving problems. That means you have to read wide. Improve your database of knowledge. Read wide. When you go online, research wide. Know a little about everything. If your husband is not at home and light starts sparking somewhere, you know what to do first before you start making calls. You know you have to rush to the dashboard and switch it off. You should know that one. If your husband travels for a week and you saw a rat in the house, you should know the first thing to do, not to call him that now and say, there is a rat in the house, what do I do? Solve problems. It's not everything you call your husband. You don't know that when men are, we used to be under pressure too. When your husband is in the office, do you know the kind of shout you're shouting on him for not meeting the deadline? Do you know the kind of hustling he's hustling to make sure he comes back with goodness and mercies for you and the family? And you see calling, I just saw a rat in the house, rat. Fridge has stopped working. And maybe just one button that a child went and touched. You have not checked. Just came and saw that fridge is not working. It's the first thing you're carrying your food because your fridge has stopped working. Look, use your smartphones well. When you meet a problem in your house, your husband is not around. You haven't known that you're single. Before you start calling people for help, why not Google the matter and search help first before you start calling for human beings. Be excited about solving problems. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. When you meet a problem, tell yourself, I can't solve this problem. I have the mind of Christ. Let me tell you, it's not every relationship. I mean, the fact, how do I put it now? Your relationship may be the will of God, but it will not insulate you from problems. Problems will come. Maybe some family members, somebody's father say, I don't want you to marry him, or I don't want you to marry her. It does not mean you are not the will of God. There's a way to solve problems. In Christ, every problem has a solution. Look for it before you start looking for a man. Get used to first searching out a solution before you engage human beings. Be excited about solving problems. And then finally, have referees. Is there anybody right now in this life who can recommend you for marriage? Do you have up to 3 people right now that can recommend you to a friend or somebody they know for marriage? And that goes back to what my wife said. The way your character has impacted people around you. Sisters, be careful how you talk to these young men you see around here. They may not have cars right now. They may not have enough money right now. But they may know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows your husband. You are 2 people away from your husband. My sister that I told you about, it was her classmates that recommended her to his brother. The woman was working. He had been satisfied by the Lord, financially settled. What was needed now was a wife to come and ice the cake. No wife. He reached out to people around him. People should help me search you. And then the brother go back to him. There is a lady in my class. When you meet her, you have reached the final bus stop as far as looking for a wife has come. How many people do you have that kind of testimony? Beauty you have. Courtesy, you talk to people respectfully. You smile lavishly. You dress well. You wear good perfumes. And then you are spiritual. You are serving in the house of God. You have a spiritual culture. And on top of all of this, you are doing well academically. He told his brother, come over to town. If you meet this lady, your search has come to an end. And the young man found the next available boss. And when he arrived of a truth, his search came to an end. And that is how they've been enjoying their marriage for 12 years. Is there anybody who can recommend you to be married? Your testimony matters. Some of you don't have any good testimony. You are the one who inspires gossip around or influences gossip. Somebody brings gossip. You receive it and then you add it up and spread it. You are the one who is always jamming the heads of people, jamming out of envy. You are the one who, when they shout, now let me tell you something. Brothers, some sisters may not like me for what I'm about to say now. If you want to marry, go and investigate if the sister belongs to any unit in church. Any sister that has no record of serving consistently with a good testimony in a church is not a safe place to enter. Because in church, we meet all manner of people. That's where you go and find out. When the unit head shouted on her for coming late for choir practice or coming late for drama unit rehearsals, what was her reaction? She went to the back and started murmuring. Or she was supposed to lead the praise and worship because she now came early. She came late on Saturday. They now put another person there. She murmured, and then she left the rehearsals. You will hear some of these things from some of these sisters. Or when she comes, she'll be the one. There are 2 of them, they're always at the back, doing side talks when her leader is addressing the group. When you hear these kind of things about a lady, think twice, even if God spoke to you. See, listen to me. In the position I am, I've been doing youth ministry for about 25 years now. People travel from outside of this state to come and meet me. Sir, we heard that you are the director of the Institute of Marriage and Courtship. We watch your program online. We see that there are a lot of ladies you are grooming here for marriage. I came to look for a wife. Can you recommend somebody for me? Then I'll bring out my lists. The first 3 among them are the ones that come up. They have been okayed in terms of service in the house of God. They have been okayed in terms of character and behavior in the house of God. And there are some other ones. Somebody come and meet me and say, sir, there's one lady that I've been liking, and I heard that she's in your ministry. I came to see if I can, something happen. I said, don't go there. I love you with my heart. I will not advise even my enemy to go there. There is fire and chuku there. Those are the ones that will be there praying. They will pray every day in church. But when they finish the prayer, they sting you with their character. Sting you. Rise up to your feet. Rise up to your feet. Let's pray some prayer before I leave your face. Woo! How many people can recommend you? Do you have up to 3 people that can speak for you? If somebody recommends you and they come, with the you that they will meet now, will they be satisfied? For those of you who are watching online and you have questions, and even in case you have questions here, time has failed us, so I can't take questions. But our Telegram group, RCN Youth Ministry, is where we trash a lot of questions. So it's a public group. So when you go on Telegram, search RCN Youth Ministry. When you go on Facebook, search RCN Youth Ministry. Drop your questions there. I'll answer them. Just to save time. Say after me, Heavenly Father, my marriage will not become a prayer point to this generation. Lift your voice and begin to prophesy. It's a prayer of declaration. It's a prayer of declaration. My marriage will not become a prayer point in this generation. Pray that prayer, pray that prayer, pray that prayer. My marriage will not become a prayer point in this generation. I won't miss it in marriage. I won't miss it in marriage. I will not be foolish.